Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on Sunday, the 17th of September. I am Ashwin Berry. Let's get into tonight's stories. The late Ambassador Hadino Hishongwa was laid to rest by thousands of mourners at the Enana Memorial Shrine on Saturday. During a memorial service held in his honor on Friday at Onekwaya West, President Hage Geingob described Hishongwa as a cadre, patriot, and committed stalwart who played a role in ensuring that Namibians receive the fruits of independence and liberty that the Namibian people enjoy today. Geingob said he first met Hishongwa in Francistown in 1964. Geingob's speech was read on his behalf by Prime Minister Sarako Ngelwa Amadila, who said they need to honor Hishongwa's heroic act by emulating his deeds, duplicating his character, and applying it to their own lives as patriots driven by something greater than themselves. Now, the Africa Millimeter Telescope project represents a bold vision to enhance our capabilities in exploring the universe. Yolanda now talks to Professor Sarah Markov of Theoretical High Energy Astrophysics. Have a look.
So I am part of a project which is to build a new telescope in Namibia, which is called the Africa Millimeter Telescope. And this was my first visit to Namibia, actually ever. In order to start to get to know all the various partners involved, from the local team to the various government officials and university officials that were involved. So it was quite a busy trip. It was very compact. I only had a few days because I had to sort of squeeze it into another trip. I was visiting South Africa, but it was extremely exciting and dynamic. I got to see a little bit of nature, and it was my first time seeing certain animals outside of a zoo.
Oh, wow.
Kind of, but also, I got to meet a lot of students. The team that we're going to be working with got to see one of the potential sites where we're thinking about putting the telescope, and then meeting with various stakeholders to try to build the relationships, that I'll be having over the coming decade, I guess.
Yeah. And you also gave a lecture at UNAM. Can you explain to us why it's important for Namibian students to go into the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
Well, yeah, I would say it's not just important for Namibians, right? This is important, I think, worldwide.
Yes.
Really, science is just how we understand the world around us, and it's very important for young people to learn how it works. Science is, also telling us a lot about skills besides, the universe and chemistry and food science and all of that. I think it's really important because it teaches young people how to think critically about things. And at this time, I think we all know there's quite a lot of disinformation out there in terms of the, things we hear on the internet and maybe politics and so on. And there's a way of learning how to think where you can distinguish between fact and fiction that science is very good at. So that's one reason I would say is
The Omusati region experienced severe drought this year, leading to an extremely poor crop harvest, scarce pasture conditions, and significant water shortages for livestock. According to the Crop Prospects, Food Security and Drought Situation Report issued by the Agriculture Ministry, the occurrence of sporadic and erratic rainfall coupled with prolonged dry spells was particularly intense during December, February to the end of the rainfall season. At the time of this assessment, a total number of 115,814 household members from 16,779 households were registered for food assistance, in addition to the already existing beneficiaries. According to the report, a significant portion of crops experienced wilting and complete failure, leading some farmers to abandon their fields without any harvest this year. The aggregated cereal production indicated that the harvest for the region was 1,980 tons, which is 76% lower than last season's harvest of 8,101 tons and 79% than the 10-year average production of 9,531 tons. Now, in a united display of their shared concerns and demands, employees of the city of Windhoek staged a peaceful demonstration on Friday. They presented a petition to address issues related to salary management and wage increments for the current financial year and gave City of Windhoek 14 working days for a meaningful response. Elia Haindongo, the representative of the Namibia Public Workers Union, addressed the gathering and formally submitted the petition to Fanny Omanda, who is currently serving as the acting executive of City of Windhoek in the absence of Moses Mutai, City of Windhoek's chief executive officer. Haindongo said that City of Windhoek's employees have been without salary increments for 4 consecutive years, despite the ever-increasing cost of living. The repo rate has increased to 7.75 basis points, which is expected to go up again. The interest rate went up 4 times this year alone, with fuel increasing 6 times. Now, on Friday, Midgard's Eurowings Discover Director of Product and Marketing Maximilian Maetkens officially announced the airline's rebranding to Discover Airlines. The leisure airline, initially established as Lufthansa, subsidiary under the Eurowings brand during the pandemic, has undergone substantial growth and integration since July 2021. The rebrand introduces a contemporary design which is inspired by the sky and landscape meeting, featuring prominently in aircraft logos and cabin interiors. The lowercase Discover wordmark now incorporates airlines, symbolizing the change.
So yes, we're the quality leisure airline of Lufthansa Group. That's our positioning. So therefore, we heard the customers, and some of the things we changed recently, for example, introducing the blanket in economy class, because we know that was an issue, obviously, is giving us more and more towards the positioning where we want to be, but we will keep working on that. We have now lounges at all of our long haul and most of our short haul destinations, obviously including Windhoek, and many more initiatives to come. Hopefully within the next 3 to 4 weeks, all of our aircrafts will have connectivity. Yes, so what's our purpose? We do everything to make flying a pleasure. So who of you have been on one of our airplanes already? Hands up. All right, then you guys should be familiar with, for example, one of the things that I'm most proud of is our cookie service. So what we do is, for those of you who haven't flown with us, when we started the airline, we were looking at things and what we could give out. And in Germany, usually everybody hands out chocolate. So we thought, what can we do? What is something special that Discover Airlines should hand out? So what we did is, after the first service, we have fresh cookie dough that we put into the ovens that are still hot. And then the whole cabin starts smelling like freshly baked cookies. And then we hand them out together with an espresso or with Baileys. So yeah, I can absolutely recommend that, and to hope and welcome you on board.
After the break in community talk, we look at the ACC song competition.
Welcome to My.NA Cars, your ultimate destination for everything automotive.
I am your host, Diana Master. Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Discover the latest models, innovative technologies, and expert insights from our passionate hosts. Learn essential maintenance tips and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access to the automotive industry. Don't miss My.NA Cars on NTV every Thursday at 2100 hours. Tune in and ignite your passion for automobiles.
Now, Dr. Alpo Mbamba Secondary School from Kavango East region wins the ACC song competition, with Monica Gengo's secondary school coming in second place and Angra Pequena Senior Secondary School in third place, while Mweshi Pendeka Secondary School took fourth place. Precious Ngitanaupo reports.
Only announced the winner. The winner is Dr.
Beautiful singing indeed. Economic news after the break.
Neopaints has established a 67-year Namibian legacy, creating personalized paint solutions that blend quality and innovation for the Namibian people. We pride ourselves in being a 100% Namibian-owned company, investing in our country and our people by employing and empowering true Namibians. With every brushstroke, Neopaints commits to our quality guarantee and always delivering a coat of excellence. At Neopaints, we always stay true to our country. We are as Namibian as you.
From a new African credit rating agency to an EU chief asking for more engagement with Africa, Alice Rizzo brings you the top 5 business stories of the week.
Here is what's been making the business headlines in sub-Saharan Africa this week. Emirates Airlines will resume flights to Nigeria and lift a visa ban on Nigerian travelers, the Nigerian presidency said on Monday. The leaders of the two countries met in Abu Dhabi to lift the ban and agree on new investments into Africa's largest economy. The African Union is planning to launch a new African credit rating agency next year. The aim is to address the group's concerns that ratings given to countries on the continent are unfair, an official told Reuters. The agency would craft its own assessment of the risks in lending to African countries. It would be based on the continent, be self-funded, and would add context to the information investors consider when deciding whether to buy African bonds or lend privately to countries, the African Union said. The 3 big ratings agencies, Moody's, Fitch, and S&P Global Ratings, have denied bias and say their ratings follow the same formula across continents. Rwanda will build a test nuclear reactor using a novel technology under an agreement between the East African country and a Canadian-German company called Dual Fluid Energy, Rwanda's atomic energy regulator said on Tuesday. The reactor will use an innovative technique developed by the startup company using liquid fuel and lead coolant, resulting in less radioactive waste, the Rwanda Atomic Energy Board said in a statement. The European Union must engage more with African countries, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in her annual speech to the European Parliament on Wednesday.
We need to show the same unity of purpose towards Africa as we have shown towards Ukraine. This is a must.
And finally, President Xi Jinping said on Friday that China supports Zambia in safeguarding its national sovereignty, security, and development interests, while encouraging more imports from the southern African country. Xi met with Zambian President Hakainde Hichilema in Beijing, and the two countries upgraded their ties to a comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership, the Chinese state news agency said. Xi vowed to work with Zambia to expand cooperations covering infrastructure, agriculture, mining, and clean energy.
Let's head straight into the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 19.04 next to the US dollar, with 23.54 Namibian dollars getting you 1 British pound. Gold and platinum managed upticks of 0.73 and 2.31% respectively, whilst copper and Brent crude oil were in the red. Stay with us as we talk Indigenous people's rights in Australia in international news shortly.
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Let's head into international news. Thousands rallied in Australia on Sunday to support recognizing Indigenous people's rights in the Constitution, a proposal that is struggling ahead of a referendum next month. Now, supporters in favor of the proposal wore T-shirts and held placards emblazoned "Vote Yes" as they marched through Australia's capital cities and regional towns. Now, if approved on October 14, the measure would enshrine Indigenous people in the Constitution and set up an advisory board to give Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people input on policies that affect them. But the Voice to Parliament proposal appeared on track for defeat. A poll showed last week the fifth monthly survey in a row to find voters against the change. Since Australian independence in 1901, only 8 of 44 proposals for constitutional change have been approved. We're going to head straight into the weather predictions shortly.
We are so excited to be kickstarting your morning with entertainment. Everything was happening during this past weekend.
Yes.
Exciting news. Wow, no, she was killing it already.
In my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with him serving the full term.
As well as keeping you informed on the issues that you need to know happening in and around our country.
Thank you for staying with us. Let's have a look at the weather predictions. Oshakati, Ruakana, Enana and Rundu are partly cloudy, with Windhoek expecting a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. It's sunny across the board, with the coldest being the coast right now. Henties Bay, Swakopmund and Walvish Bay, no more than 12 degrees Celsius minimums. We're going to head into the sports after the break.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouthwatering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
We start our sports stories with the Rugby World Cup with Friday's clash with the All Blacks versus the Welviches, but the All Blacks got back to winning ways in this one in some style, and this was by running 11 tries in a 71-3 hammering of courageous but outclassed Namibia. This was to revive their Pool A campaign. Stung by their loss to France in the tournament curtain raiser last week, New Zealand tore into the Africans from the kickoff, and scrum half Cam Roigard crossed twice in the opening 7 minutes on his first test start. Fly half Damian McKenzie also grabbed 2 tries. The bonus point was secured by winger Lester Fainganyanku in the 25th minute. Namibia never stopped looking for a try and had their chances, especially after New Zealand prop Ethan de Groot was sent from the pitch for a red card offence. Namibia move on to face France next week, still without a World Cup win in 24 attempts, while New Zealand could likely wrap up qualification from the group with a win over Italy on the 29th of September. Now, the national final of the Windhoek Lager International Pairs Championship was won on Saturday by Desmond Demilio and Lucas Kotzer at the Windhoek Golf Club with 89 points. Demilio and Kotzer are both from the Henties Bay Golf Club, who overshadowed 31 pairs for the national title after 2 days and 36 holes. Now, Devald Kotzer and Raymond Vansel from Windhoek Golf Club achieved an excellent second place with 87 points, with Mario and Givino Posa of Walvish Bay third on 85. The competition was extremely tough between the amateurs. A single point separated the third and fourth positions, and the fifth and sixth pairs both finished on 80. The only ladies and NEB team of Jolene van Schoor and George Vink finished 11th. The winners of the central final, Penda Nanda and Alfin Dienge, had a bad day and achieved 23rd place. After the break, we'll be getting into your highlights from this evening's broadcast. Thank you for staying with Sunset News. Let's get into the highlights from this evening's broadcast. The late Ambassador Hadino Hishongwa was laid to rest by thousands of mourners at the Enana Memorial Shrine on Saturday. During a memorial service held in his honor on Friday at Onekwaya West, President Hage Geingob described Hishongwa as a cadre, patriot, and committed stalwart who played a role in ensuring that Namibians received the fruits of independence and liberty that the people enjoy today. In a united display of their shared concerns and demands, employees of the city of Windhoek staged a peaceful demonstration on Friday. They presented a petition to address issues related to salary management and wage increments for the current financial year and gave City of Windhoek 14 working days for a meaningful response. And in golf, the national final of the Windhoek Lager International Pairs Championship was won on Saturday by Desmond D'Amelio and Lucas Kotza at the Windhoek Golf Club with 39 points. D'Amelio and Kotza are both from the Henties Bay Golf Club, who overshadowed 31 pairs for the national title after 2 days and 36 holes. It's going to be a long week, and Sunset News will be here to make sure you get all the pertinent stories as you need them. My name is Ashwin Berry. Don't end your day without us.